Hey everyone, welcome back with Ermac, where today we're going to continue our playthrough of Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks. Looks like Kung Lao seeing double over here.
We find him, maybe we find your girlfriend. Kitana is not my girlfriend. She may help us, remember? So what do we do? This is what Raiden was talking about. If we defeat Reptile, Shang Tsung will be that much weaker. No, I will defeat Reptile. You can watch. That is what Raiden was talking about.
See, this is the campiness of this game I was talking about in an earlier video. Just the interactions between Kung Lao and Liu Kang, and you know, Liu Kang getting embarrassed about Kitana. She isn't my girlfriend, guys. And Kung Lao just kind of constantly being the shit talker of the group and stuff like that. Did a very good job of establishing Kung Lao's future personality in a lot of ways. I think it's a lot more in your face in this game than later entries, but it's just, I don't know, it's just so funny. That guy didn't die? Oh man, I'm gonna have to go all the way down there. I don't even know if, like, if I beat him here, will they respawn? I think the guy disappeared. Let me check. Yeah. Alright, looks like it's just the one. Oh, no, never mind. Well, we're gonna have to take these guys out. Again. I can't miss. Or I gotta hit him in the right way, I guess. Jeez, I cannot hit this dude. See, this is what Liu Kang's power moves are way superior to Kung Lao's. Oh, alright, we got both of them somehow, I guess. Because with Liu Kang characters, I think it's every, like, Sub-Zero, Scorpion, Liu Kang, you can just run up on the Shaolin Priest and hit with, like, the power kick and they'll fly right off. With Kung Lao and, you know, Reptile, the characters like that, it just doesn't work the same.
This place is enormous. I'm still trying to make sense out of what Kitana told us. Do you see Reptile? No. You check over there.
I think we found Reptile, folks. I think a lot of the times, too, the levels that they introduce with these characters and the bosses are almost perfect in a lot of ways. You know, I mean, it makes perfect sense Reptile would be in the Living Forest. It makes perfect sense the evil monastery. Kitana would be, you know, the boss there. And of course, it makes even more sense to have all the female ninjas for that whole thing. I don't know. This is the first game, I believe, that established the whole inseparable Reptile Melina thing, and they don't really explain what that means, why they're inseparable or anything like that, but I think they don't really ever keep up with that bit of lore either. Like, I think Reptile speaks out against Melina in, like, Mortal Kombat 10 or something like that. I don't know, it was like his 4th Snake video I seen. The guy seems really irritated for some reason all the time, but he does have some pretty entertaining videos. And he is very, very knowledgeable. Make no mistake about it. But this is probably, aesthetically speaking, this is probably the coolest level in my opinion. They did such a great job in capturing the forest. All the foliage and stuff like that, and I don't think it was ever there before in the original games, but like these temple things they have are pretty, they just work so well with the atmosphere. I think that's kind of like one of the coolest things about this game is just the recreations of all the old stages. Like I mentioned before, John Tobias and, you know, the story artists of Mortal Kombat 2 and stuff like that. I mean, the stuff that they came up with in that game, it's what made Mortal Kombat iconic in the first place, in my opinion. Of course, there's the fatalities and stuff, but it was definitely also a thing of you know, the lore behind it. You know, don't let anybody, even if they were the first to do it. I mean, there was a million Mortal Kombat clones that were even half as good as, you know, Mortal Kombat itself. Obviously, people say Killer Instinct was pretty good. I don't know, but I'll take their word for it, and the fact that it could probably have some potential, just because, you know, obviously it was developed by Rare, where I believe, you know, they're no slouches. At least back in the day, they weren't. Yeah, we gotta wait for those guys to their bodies to disappear. And those trees too that attack you are really cool, in my opinion. Like, just so much life and atmosphere bred into these. If you're wondering why I'm fighting these guys again, it's because I saved and then I exited and came back to here, so it's like we gotta do the whole thing again. But hey, I mean, if you don't mind me kicking some putrid butt, then I guess, you know, no loss to you guys, right? I think some of the my favorite places in this game, though, are just the ones where it's not only just, you know, the open area, but the ones that really capture just what the 2D stages would look like in, you know, modern graphics for the time anyway. You know, like, they perfectly recreated the pit level, you know, from Goro's Lair, of course, as you've seen earlier. I mean, it's not just, you know, a new interpretation of it. It's just a one-to-one recreation of the pit perfectly. You know, not the one where you face the Oni boss, but the one the first time you enter the pit after, you know, an equally pretty great recreation of Goro's Lair, just how you would remember it from, like, the old Mortal Kombat 1 days. And I think, you know, the level where you get the Multality for the Evil Monastery, I mean, that's clearly, obviously, that was based off of the Evil Tower. And, I mean, that was just masterful. It's just so simple, but it's just so cool to see those things not remade or remastered or anything like that. What the hell just happened to my character model a second ago? I hate these guys. They just pop up and down and all this other stuff. They're massive pain in the asses. But yeah, I mean, there's gonna be more stages like that. The Living Forest doesn't really have one, which is fine, because I mean, it's just the open area is cool enough. Let me think. So then I know they have the Combat Tomb is gonna be the next level with the Soul Tombs. They have an area with that's pretty perfectly replicated as well, and even some new ones like the Combat Craig. Like, it's the kind that you could see it being a stage from back in the day and stuff like that. So it's a very cool game for seeing, you know, old things as new. Where I feel like that was kind of the thing around this time. It was cool, like in Resident Evil Outbreak, to see, you know, the RPD and it's the same thing, you know, from Resident Evil 2, but with better graphics. They had the Nest, which was the laboratory in RE2, better graphics, the hospital, and a lot of those things also had expansions added to them to add to the lore, and they weren't one-to-one. Like obviously Nest, there were extra areas in that game that were added that weren't in Resident Evil 2 or wouldn't make sense. And I mean, half the freaking time in those places too, it would be something along the lines of you know, just something to kind of tie the areas together, but it would also sometimes have it to where, you know, they would block off like a shit ton of doors. Like in the RPD for Outbreak File 2, I mean, they blocked off the whole, I think it would be the west side, yeah. So, you know, a lot of the iconic rooms you don't always get to see and stuff like that. I think there was like an HD mod or something like that. Or not the HD mod, it was like the Terror mod or something like that. I've never seen it, but I think they were adding new rooms. And one of the rooms they were adding was like rooms that were taken out of like the RPD. Like they had to redesign all these rooms and stuff like that that you weren't able to access in the original Outbreak series. They created them themselves. New concept art. Talk about juicy. Alright, now I'm kind of trapped. And if you were wondering, yeah, I was sorry, I mean, during my rant, I was trying to practice some of Reptile's combos. There's just one that I can't get down. I did it before, I think earlier. it's the one where it's like a boss move too. It's where he kind of does the whole I don't even know what you would call it. Like the green energy summons into him and he kind of creates an explosion after punching the ground or something like that. I've even looked up the combo and I can't get it down. I don't know what it is. Apparently it's like triangle, square, square, circle or something like that. I don't really have it in front of me right now, but it's like something where I was doing it what I felt like was perfect, but it just wasn't working out for me. And yeah, this game, I remember in the first video I said I was stuck on this part because they don't really tell you, but you have to feed 3 trees, you know, 3 trees. And you have to feed them each one person. They're all in different areas, and I don't know, it took us forever to figure out that's what you had to do. But they give you quote-unquote hints on how to get to find Reptile, but I don't know, the hints obviously don't really mean much. This is a pretty annoying part. You have to like throw these guys in the air, but half the time the snakes just don't catch them. And half the time they end up just in the thorns on the side. But we're doing pretty good so far, doing alright. But I think other games, you know, like Resident Evil was once again a good example, you know, like, because the PS2 and the N64 and of course before that and everything, you know, games had limitations of what they could do, so it was cool around this time. They kind of just expanded upon what they already created. Same a little bit with the PS3 and the Xbox 360 era, you know, it felt like they were just expanding on things. Whereas nowadays it feels like they're kind of more prioritized with remaking things and making new things from what's old. So Resident Evil once again is a great example in the sense of you know, Resident Evil Remake, the second one and the third one, fourth one, they all just are essentially they take the general ideas of the original games they came from, but I mean they're also completely different in a lot of ways. You know, a lot of the mechanics are same, or you know, new in regards of their new engines and stuff. But I mean, like look at the RPD in Resident Evil 2 Remake, for example. It's pretty similar in some ways, but at the end of the day, it's pretty different too. You know. But the only thing it's still fantastic. I mean, they're so different, but similar in the way it's tough for me to say which one I like better, the original Resident Evil 2 or the Resident Evil 2 Remake. And you know, some people might say, oh, of course it's the remake, yeah, you know, the games are great, and yeah, this and that. Of course it's great, it's fantastic. However, they're different experiences, and I think just because one is older and has tank controls doesn't mean it's bad or it's nostalgic or anything like that. I think they're great for different reasons. I probably played them pretty evenly, honestly, at this point in my life. Oh jeez, I'm missing it. This part's kind of a pain in the butt. When you're Liu Kang, I think it's super easy because, you know, Liu Kang, his whole square punch quick attacks, I mean, he just go all over the place. It doesn't matter. There's no
Prepare for more.
I can't really think of the words. There's no like break period between punches, I guess, for lack of a better term. But we got it. So once again, this is another area in which I have the moveset hack on. So holding down L2 and you know, pressing up, or I mean down, then I'll be able to access Kung Lao's moveset and get past the Brutality stage. But if you're wondering, I'm not gonna play as Reptile with Kung Lao's fighting style, so these are the only times you're going to see me really using his moves and the Multalities and Brutalities and stuff like that. I think this is also a cool area, and I think this is probably one of the few areas in which they took from Mortal Kombat 4. Obviously, Reptile's lair wasn't something that was added until Mortal Kombat 4. And the whole aesthetic and design and stuff like that is still pretty similar. And even it would carry over to Armageddon. The only thing that's missing are just all those giant eggs. Got them. Brutalities are pretty cool. But it's kind of just like, just an excuse for more combos in a weird way. But I've always been a bigger fan of the fatalities. I think everybody has. But multalities are also just very useful for like clearing out if you're surrounded by enemies and you're kind of getting your ass kicked. Alright, come on, I can do this. Just look at where I'm shooting. See, that's another secret. Trying to help you guys out a little bit. I mean, I don't know. I'm kind of just a completionist in a lot of ways, so like I should just be running past, because I mean there's better guide videos out there, but you know, it bothers me if I don't try and collect everything that I can on my playthroughs of stuff. Even though I'm, you know, once I'm done with this game, I'm probably done with it. In the sense of, you know, it's not like a memory card. Like all my games on the PS2, they're all like 100% completed, and I have those saves to, I don't know, I mean, show off if I ever wanted to. Not that I'm gonna do that, but it just helps me sleep better at night. That's kind of what I mean. I gotta say too, I think something that really does set Shaolin Monks apart from other beat-em-ups is they do introduce a lot of interesting mechanics of the game that, you know, like this, for example. This is a pretty interesting little section before the boss battle. It's cool, and it doesn't out where it's welcome. It's only done at this point in the game. I think another similar thing would probably have to be, you know, like the catapults and the Wuxi Academy. I think was a good example. The thing where you're helping Johnny Cage as well in the Wuxi Academy with jeez, can't seem to get the timing down. But like another unique mechanic is when you're helping Johnny Cage in the Wuxi Academy, where you have to keep the guys off of him for a while. I think you only do that one other time in the game. So it's just really cool when they do stuff like that. What? Oh, come on. I hit that. Jeez. I'm embarrassing myself on YouTube, and I'm still going to have to upload it. I don't know, for whatever... It's not even that hard. It's not nearly as hard as I'm making it look. But I don't think I've ever been able to do this without getting hit once. You know, a perfect, flawless victory run on this. And I've been playing this game for years. Alright, we got one more. This one always used to kick my ass as a kid, and now doing it now, I don't really understand what my issue was. But I mean, I used to be so bad at this particular part of the game, I'd be on it for like 20 minutes and I would just die because I got hit by the snake too many times. Yeah, see, just as simple as that, and he can't hit you again. But with that giant snake out of the way, we're going to be able to take on Reptile officially as he's really in a way our first real boss. I mean, yeah, Katana, Melina, and Jade were the first real bosses, but this is the first like one-on-one type fight. And for some reason, Katana didn't have the big health bar that Reptile's about to have. But there can only be one Reptile. But going back to my talk earlier about remakes and, you know, upgrading the past and stuff like that move right there, that's the move I was trying to do earlier when I was just doing random combos in the Living Forest, but I couldn't do it. But back to what I was saying about the jeez, what was I gonna about the remakes and the remasters and stuff like that. I felt like during the PS2 era and the PS3 era, they were just trying to upgrade that stuff. Like, I liked how in PS2 and PS3 era they had consistency. You know, Jill's face model was always the same for those games, from Revelations to Remake to I believe she had the same face model for Umbrella Chronicles, but I can't remember. I haven't played that game, to be honest. Same with Claire, you know, she, for the longest time, even the PS2 era, I mean PS1 game, Resident Evil 2, she always, for the longest time, had her voice actress's Allison Court's face. So you could always associate it with the same character, the same face, same eye color, same look, everything. And that was what was so awesome about it back in the day. Whereas now, I was not a big fan of Claire's like her look in Remake 2, because I mean it was a change, and it just didn't feel necessary. I mean, it didn't seem like the same character in a lot of ways too. You know, I think it was, you could argue it was definitely more realistic for that outbreak and stuff, and she was kind of the foul mouth character in comparison to Leon, who only kind of swore like maybe 2 or 3 times. But I don't know, I just found her to be, I think her and Jill in RE3 Remake, I think people exaggerate with Jill a little bit, but with Claire, yeah, I definitely feel like she's a bit try-hard, and you know, all her things. And yeah, you know, I mean, my friend like Brian Irons, for example, you know, he's kind of outed right away. They don't even have any suspense or mystery or whatever of what's going on. It's just kind of like, oh hey, it's Sherry, I was worried about you. All right, get on the ground. Yep, I'm a terrible person, see? Can't trust me. You know, I get it, you know, it was a 20-year-long thing. Everybody knew it, we played the games and stuff like that. But I mean, still, it's about the narrative, not the... You know what I mean? But I don't know, I just like to complain about a bunch of stuff, so... That said, I mean, those are really the only complaints I have about RE2. That and Annette, I hated Annette's character. I think she was way better in the original RE2. But other than that, I mean, honestly, RE2 Remake was great. RE3 Remake, I mean, I'm probably one of the few people that... I think a lot of people like RE3 Remake, but I think most people were disappointed considering what could have been. Which, you know, I wasn't the biggest RE3 fan, so that's probably why. I never actually finished it. I always got stuck on the water facility puzzle, but... all things considered, I thought the remake was still very fun. It was clear when you played it, it was a downgrade even in comparison to the RE2 remake. I mean, the models, the physics, all that sort of stuff. Which, you know, I understand people's complaints, but I still had a lot of fun with it. But that said, I mean, once again, they changed Jill's look a little bit. I think she looked a lot similar to her original incarnation in comparison to, you know, Claire. I mean, not to be a dick, but I mean, she kind of had those fish lips. She just looked different. And I don't know, I mean, I'm just a guy that doesn't like change, I guess. But that said, I mean, I still love those games. RE4 Remake, I haven't finished yet. I know, it's been out for a while, but I've moved around a lot, so... And obviously, I've started this channel, so I just never really went back to it. But I definitely will complete it again someday. I wasn't a big fan of the original RE4 though, so... Probably one of the few people in the community that can say that.
You killed Reptile. This is very good. Master, why do you say that? You are feeding the soul tombs. This is all we hoped for.
How is this going to save Earthrealm? I thought we were here to stop Shang Tsung.
Yes, Master Raiden.
Something is wrong.
Yes, but I am certain Raiden will let us know when it is time.
But the whole point of bringing this up, and I keep forgetting to ask, because I'm in my own world, guys. I get it. You know, I just kind of ramble on about nonsense, whatever's on my mind when I'm playing. But I wanted to essentially ask what you guys think of, you know, the consistency of these games. You know, Resident Evil, Mortal Kombat. I feel like there's definitely other series. I just can't think of them off the top of my head. I mean, I get things have to evolve, and that's fine. Like I said, there are some things I like, you know, such as the remakes of Resident Evil. And there's some things that, you know, I don't like. Like, I'm not a big fan of, you know, the modern gameplay of Mortal Kombat games and stuff like that. I mean, it's as popular as it's ever been, but I'm not a fan of the story of Mortal Kombat anymore. But that said, once again, I mean, people, you know, if you ask most people, they'll say that the worst story-wise Mortal Kombat ever was around this time. So, to each their own, you know. I don't mind debate. Let's just keep it civil, though. So what do you guys think? Do you like it when things constantly evolve and, you know, it's kind of like movies in which, you know, when we get new adaptations of games and movies in general, that we don't have the original actors and stuff, or...
Master Raiden, I fear, Liu Kang, that Kung Lao, no matter how much he desires to serve his ancestors, is becoming a liability to the tournament. Master Raiden, it is this place. Evil spirits swim in the air, searching for souls to nest in. You are the Mortal Kombat champion. You will need to remember who you are if you are going to defeat Shang Tsung. The Soul Tombs are a source of Shang Tsung's power. You must destroy them. I can trust only you. You are the champion of Mortal Kombat. You alone are strong enough to resist the corruption of this realm. Yes, Master Raiden.
Or maybe even at the end of the day, you know, as much as some people like me kind of talk and debate about that kind of stuff, you know, consistency, you know, same actors, or voice actresses, whatever, you know, or do you just not really care whether or not they have the same voices or story or anything like that? I want to hear your thoughts down below, fellas.
Something is wrong. I knew it. Trust your instincts, Kung Lao. Trust what you know. Your ancestors will guide you. The Soul Tombs are the source of Shang Tsung's power.
I love this cutscene. I just think it's funny. Alright then, but that's pretty much going to be wrapping up today, guys. So once again, let me know what you guys think. Do you care about, you know, remakes with the new models, new actresses? Do you want it the opposite way in which it's consistent? Or do you just not give a shit? But, you know, if you enjoyed, like and subscribe. But above all else, please remember to have a nice day.